everybody, and welcome to my video today, you guys. I have another simply layered page that I am going to put together for you. This is a winter themed page, and I had all of these snowflakes left over from when I created my cards for my free tutorial that I'm giving out this month. And so they were all sitting on my desk, and I thought, well, why not? Why don't I just put together a simply layered page? Have not done a lot of these recently because I just haven't had time. So the really fun thing is that I even got out my Cricut. So the last layout you guys saw, I got out my silhouette and cut a couple things, and then this time I got out my Cricut. I wanted to cut out, I wanted some snowmen, and I wanted them to be a little bit larger than what I could stamp to put on the layout. So this is what I did. I really love the way these turned out, you guys. It took me about an hour to pull my Cricut out, find the right cartridge, get all the pieces, and I inked them and I glittered them. You can see there's glitter and there's glossy accents on them. And I just really had a great time putting these together. And I used my Nuvo crystal drops on the pink part here. I used some pink ones, and I just love the way everything turned out. So I have those guys too. So what we're starting out with here is we are starting out with the Festive Farmhouse designer paper, and I'm using that a lot this month. Our simply layered kits that I do with Chris and I are going to be featuring the Festive Farmhouse designer paper and the stamp set and die set. So I have already ordered more of this. I had to order 4 more packs of this paper just this week. So I'm starting out with this wood grain again. It's the same piece that I did in my last simply layered. I just think this is a great foundational piece to start with. And then what I've done is I've grabbed some lovely lipstick cardstock. And again, I'll have a free PDF for you guys that will be linked in the YouTube description and on my website. This is going to be 8 inches by 10 inches. So I took 2 pieces of cardstock, and that's what I cut them down to. And then I went and I dug into some of my old designer paper, and Stampin' Up! Used to have these 12 by 12 stacks of very basic designer paper. They now have that in 6 by 6 pieces. So you could totally use some 6 by 6 pieces and just cut them and then stack them one on top of each other. Since they're 6 inches, 2 on top of each other would create a 12-inch strip. I just happen to have all of my old stacks because they still have current colors in them. So this is Pool Party, and this is a current color. It's just that that particular stack of paper has retired. So I grabbed that, and this is going to be 3 inches. So if you have the newer stacks and you have it in 6 by 6, you would just cut it in half, and then you would stack them on top of each other to make it 12 by 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this really easy, and we're going to stack this right on the side. And I'm using my ATG gun just so that it's quicker and a little bit more cost effective to use so much adhesive. So we'll do that with both of these, and it's just this plain polka dots, and I'm putting this right on the edge. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, the reason I'm doing this, I know I'm a little far away, you guys, but I want these right next to each other so that I can try to line these up, which, you know, is not always, it doesn't always come out perfect. But what I want to do is just kind of put this here, and then what I want to try to do is just, and I'm eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm not going right up against the edge, and you'll see why in some of the other things that we do. And then I'll do the same thing with this. I think that's probably good enough. Okay, so now we have both of our sides here. And then what I'm going to do is I have some of our current, this is the same polka dot here, but then I have the current lovely lipstick piece, and I've just cut a 2-inch strip, and then I've cut Actually, this is 1.5, and then this is 1 inch. And I probably didn't need all that adhesive all the way up that, I just realized, because of how I'm gonna layer this. So I'm gonna layer this right on the edge here. And again, I'm using my grid mat. We'll press that onto the... And then we can pick this layout up and we'll just snip this. Always snip from behind. When you're trimming something like this, you'll get closer to the edge than if you just trim it from the front. And then I'm going to set this aside. I'm thinking that maybe I could, if I flag this, these ends. Well, I used my triple banner punch originally to do this. So if I punch these, use these. I'm gonna wait, but I'm thinking I might use those other 2 pieces. Okay, so now let's set this aside, and I'm gonna zoom in a tiny bit as we work on each individual side. Okay, so over here, what I have is I have some 4-inch, these are gonna end up being 4-inch photo mats. So the Bermuda Bay piece is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then the pool party piece is 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. So your photo will be 4 by 4, and they'll go into these slots. So the reason that I did not put adhesive edge to edge is because we're going to be sliding some things under the cardstock. But I wanted to get my photo mats on here just for placement. And then the other thing that I did with these pool party photo mats is, because this is pool party, I inked around the edges of my pool party mat so that it would stand out a little bit more on this piece. So now that I've done the top, kind of start with one edge there, and then, okay, just like that. So then I'm going to take this Coastal Cabana snowflake that I have, and what I want to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive liquid glue to this, and then I'm going to put this right underneath my lovely lipstick piece. And you can see I didn't put glue here at the very top, and it allows that snowflake to kind of lift up off the page a little bit, and that always gives it a nice interest. And then that's also why I wanted to wait to put my flags on, because I had my photo mats. So what I'm thinking is I also have my smaller snowman that I think will go right here. I wasn't quite sure, or I was even thinking maybe right here. So let's wait to add these 2. Sometimes you have to wait a few minutes to get everything in the right position. So let's zoom out a little bit so we can bring the other side over here. Okay, for this side, I have photo mats that are going to go from top to bottom. These are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, which means your 4 by 6 photo is going to fit perfectly on this. You're not even gonna have to do any cutting, which is always what I like to do. I always try to make sure our photo mats are gonna be really easy to add photos to, because that's the whole point. It's supposed to be really simple, right? That's why they're called simply layered pages. You can put these pages together before you even have your photos, and then once you get your photos, there's not a bunch of crazy measurements or trimming, or you don't have to worry about when you're taking your photo, how am I going to fit this onto my page? Because you can know you're just going to print it out. You're going to have a 4 by 6 photo, and it's going to go right onto the 4 by 6 mat. So we always just maybe add a 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 inch. Sometimes we do 3 by 4, which is perfect because then you can cut your photo right in half. I definitely want my larger snowman here, and I definitely want him popped up. So I have a tip coming up for you guys. I may have already shared this, or I may be getting ready to share this. I have put together some fun foam pieces here, and I'm going to do a video on how I did this. But it's just fun foam that I have purchased I actually found it at Walmart for a fairly good price. And then I added my own full adhesive sheets to the back. And then I've been using these. I feel like it's a little bit more, it's a little less expensive than using so many dimensionals or getting the 3M tape. And then what I do is I just take my liquid glue and I add it to this side. And then I can pop this piece up. And also when I put this down, because it's liquid glue, it's going to move around a little bit. Like it's not going to be stuck down immediately. So we'll put our snowman on there. This piece is popped up, so your photo is still going to fit right under there. Okay. So now we have some snowflakes that we can add. So, and then the last thing I have here is I have these letters that say Winter Fun. And what I'm thinking is it actually might look really nice here. So I'm going to do this off camera, adhere all these letters just because they're tiny. I want to make sure that I get them lined up. So what I'm thinking is I'll do Winter Fun this way, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up this layout. Okay, so I know it might be a little tiny bit hard to see. I have Winter Fun up here. I don't think I lined it up that great. But it says Winter Fun, and we have the snowflake there. I have my snowflakes here, and I have my larger snowman here. And I still have quite a few snowflakes that I would like to get on this layout, since this is this color combo that I had used before with my card. It would be nice if I could use those up. So I had thought about maybe putting the snowman here. But then I'm not sure that that balances out. I feel like with the bigger one being here, I thought about doing this. Okay, so this is where I'm at with this layout. I've added my snowflakes. You saw that I started to maybe add those flags over here, but I ended up not liking it. I'm going to let this glue dry, and then I'll use my sand eraser to get that off. And then I don't think there's room for this little guy unless I put it here, which I could, and then I could put a 3x4 photo there. Maybe that's what I'll do. So let's cut up some more foam and put that guy there, and then I think I can just use a 3x4 photo there instead of a 4x6. I think that'll work. And then I just have to decide if I want any more snowflakes on here. And then I'll also add my rhinestones to my snowflakes. Okay guys, I'm back to share with you the final look at this layout. Here is this side, and the only other thing that I did is I took some sequins. These are some iridescent sequins, so they sort of pick up the color, whatever kind of color is underneath, and I sprinkled some around these snowflakes and then also up around these, and my light is really catching them. It's making them look more yellow, but they really are just, have a little pink to them, and then they really pick up the color that is underneath. So then I added rhinestones to my snowflakes, and this side is all done. And then this side looks like this, and I did the same thing where I sprinkled some of the iridescent sequence kind of just up around this cluster of snowflakes. And then on this part, what I did is I added this jewel drop. It's the Nouveau jewel drop, and it is in this color pink. So I added Winka Stella to the letters first, and then I added that Nouveau drops to it. And then so it says Winter Fun, and there's a little snowflake right there in the middle. The camera doesn't pick up very well this sparkle, but in person you can really see that. So the only other thing that I had thought I was kind of lacking on this side was pink, because I have several pops of pink with the letters and then their little cheeks over here, and I don't have any of that light pink over here, but I really didn't have anything else that I could add. So I thought I would just leave it alone. I could also do the layout like this. It would work like this. And then the winter fun is over here. So that's the great thing about these layouts is you're adding your photo mats and the designs are really simple, and then you can do lots of different things with them. So you could do another layout like this, a Christmas layout. These could be Christmas trees. It could be a Santa sled. It could be jingle bells. It could be, you know, your embellishments could be anything, but the layout works really well. So I hope that you enjoyed this. On the YouTube video, in the YouTube video description, there is a link for the PDF to print this out. And then if you're on my website, right under the photo of this project, it'll say print your PDF here. And if you're on my Facebook page, I always add those to that as well. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this, and thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll be back next week to hang out with you guys some more. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.